have several mature bucks. I say 3 shooters off of this property that frequent this area. We've set this stand about 2 weeks ago. About 4 days ago, we found them. They already started to make some scrapes and some roll-ups. So we freshened up our scrapes with some top secret deer scent tarsal gland with the foam. And I've got a spot point link micro over those scrapes. And they've been hitting them in the morning time and late evening. I want to explain the setup I got going on. This small private parcel. Hunted it last year, got permission to hunt it again this year. I set up on a fruit plot. The pattern from last year to this year has changed. And I'll show you right behind us, like right in here, is a scrape. And they've been scraping along this line under this tree as well. And last year, they accessed this food plot from the bottom, but they've actually this year go up around the food plot and come in behind us. So I set this ladder stand up based off of last year's information, and I mean this stand is really not in the best place because we hunted northwest wind and it blows right back across where they're traveling. And I really wish I could show you better. They scrape right there too, and then they're traveling in and out of there back up into some plenty pines. So really, if we get any kind of deer movement, it's probably going to be behind us. So here's our food plot. You can see there's our feeder. Last year, we had a ground blind set up about right there. The deer were accessing from the back corner off of an oak ridge and over here out of some planted pines. They would come and they use this as a scrape line. Also eating acorns, but there's an opening in the fence down here. They would come out of the planted pines and enter the food plot right in front of the ground blind. We've seen several small bucks here last year, so we set this up. Now that it's legal to bait in Alabama, we put the feeder here thinking we could draw the deer down and bring them to the feeder. But this year, they're actually going up through the planted pines around the food plot, and they're coming up through here, and they're scraping all the way along here and even back here. So again, most of our movement's probably going to be right here behind us, and we've really got a bad wind to be hunting this stand, but we got to do what we got to do.
So it's the day after. Went and dropped the deer off at the processor this morning, and then headed over to the gym. And while I was doing my cardio at the gym, I was thinking about this vlog and how I just felt incomplete, and what was something that I could do other than just recapping the hunt to make this really feel like something that was worth posting. Well, the more I thought on it and thought on the hunt itself, there was a lot of lessons learned, and it revolved around products that I was using or products that I had purchased maybe to save some money or thinking I could cut some corners. One of the first products, is specific to the filming and more specific to self-filming. Don't make a ton of money. I don't have sponsors. People don't send me free stuff. So I shop on Amazon a lot, and there's things that I say, okay, I can save some money and maybe make a couple of alterations to the product, and I think this could work for us. Well, specifically camera arms. There's a lot of big name camera arms out there. Muddy makes some, Fourth Arrow makes some, but they're upwards to $100, $150 to $200 for these good camera arms, and I'm finding stuff on Amazon for like 30 bucks. So I'm thinking, okay, I can use this, make a couple alterations, and it'll do for us. During the filming of this hunt, I learned real fast that this is something that I do not want to cut a corner on. I've actually probably spent just as much money trying to save money as I would have if I'd have went out and purchased a good camera arm to begin with. So after this hunt, and I'll add in some of the shaky video probably patched into this little segment here, but I've decided to go ahead and purchase a Fourth Arrow camera arm. We do have a good fluid head. I do have a good tripod. for whenever we hunt from the ground blind. But whenever we're in the tree stand, I really try to cut some corners and save some money, and you know, the video really suffered. So a product that I was very, very satisfied with is the Afflictor K2 hybrid broadhead. I've shot Rage in the past, had really good results with the Rage, but you know, yesterday evening it was fairly dark. The deer was at 15 yards. It was quartering away pretty hard. At the time, I felt like I made a decent shot. When I hit the deer dropped immediately. Didn't run a single step. When I got down, I seen where the arrow entered the deer. Kind of felt like I made a bad shot, but I want to show you the broadhead. So here is the broadhead. Let me get a focus here. So this is a hybrid expandable with bleeder blades. This is the K2. They make several variations of the hybrid broadhead, but I can't speak enough about how satisfied I am. Sorry for the focus. How satisfied I am with the broadhead, even with a less than optimal shot. I mean, I got good penetration. The deer, I mean, bled out within maybe 15-20 seconds. Didn't run off, didn't have to do much of a tracking job to locate the deer. So, Afflictor broadheads, I'm very satisfied. Okay, another product, and all this probably wouldn't have been possible if not for the regiment that I use with these products, this line of products. Anyone that knows me or has kept up with me and Rachel on Facebook or through YouTube know I'm super meticulous whenever it comes to scent control. Typically bow hunt only, so getting close is the name of the game. This deer, you know, come as close as 7 or 10 yards to us multiple times, and I mean, we wasn't able to film all of the encounter with this deer and the other deer that we had yesterday, but our scent control protocol really revolves around the scent defense. So there's a whole line of these products: the body wash, clothes detergent, the field spray, and it comes in non-scent and all season. They even offer 3-in-1. So I typically do my laundry into 3-in-1 and then use the unscented field spray, you know, before the hunt. But you know, scent control, bow hunting, they go hand in hand, and this is a product that I strongly recommend, and I'm very, very satisfied with, considering the circumstances of yesterday, fiddling with the camera and the deer being so close, poor stand placement. Wind really wasn't in our favor, but we were still able to get close enough multiple times and actually harvest a deer yesterday. Alright, well, I just wanted to recap the hunt. So we come in, we got a north-northwest wind. It's a little warm. Really wasn't expecting to see anything. So we accessed this stand through a main road, walked down the road. There's a deer just off the road outside the food plot. We bumped that deer out. Don't know what it was, didn't see it, but it runs off in the woods. Like, oh man, our hunt really is busted. But we get up in the stand, we wait a little bit. Around 3:30, we see a deer that we can't really identify. It's kind of sneaking through the backside of the food plot. Never stops, just eases through, eats on some acorns. So then wait a little bit longer. Kind of from behind us, a small spike come in. You watch as I struggle with the camera again. The camera arm become really more of a burden than anything throughout this hunt. So it comes out by us, feeding on some acorns at first, goes up to the feeder. We watch him on the feeder for a little bit. Then a doe comes out of nowhere, don't know where she come from. We watched her for a little bit. I actually have decided not to kill a deer at this point. Both of them go to the far end of their food plot, kind of disappear for a little bit. Dark starting to set in. I have fought with the camera so long, I actually gave up on the camera, turned it off, shut it down. And then both deer come back. The doe goes to the feeder, and the spike comes almost underneath the stand, eating on some acorns. I checked the time. It's like 5 minutes before legal shooting light is there. So I was like, well, I've passed on many deer. This property it has an abundance of bucks. Our buck ratio is like 3 bucks to 1 doe. I even text Rachel, was like, hey, I got a spike. You think I should take it? And she's like, no, pass on it. And I watched it until the very last minute, and I decided to go ahead and harvest the deer. And we had a successful harvest. Again, the deer didn't run off anywhere, even though it was less than an optimal shot. So that kind of recaps the hunt. A lot of lessons learned. With our equipment, we had some issues, but we also had some successes with the equipment. With our scent control protocol, it seemed to work. We was there, even fighting with the camera. We managed to get real close with the deer. K2, the Afflictor K2 broadhead obviously worked. So a lot of lessons learned. And guys, can't thank you enough for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Hope this was helpful. Like, subscribe, and share. Keep watching.